My name is Jonathan Rose. I'm Managing Director of Tier 1 Asset Management. I'm here with Nigel Hope, who's come through our joint venture with the charity Ants Junction. I'm just going to spend a few minutes with Nigel just explaining a bit about his story and his journey. Morning, Nigel.
Morning.
Just want to start off and just give us, just tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I sort of went walkabouts. I lost myself quite a long time to addiction, and it was, the consequences.
What addiction was that?
I was heavily into drink, and then it led me to Class A, and I was getting in all sorts of trouble, mixing with the wrong crowd. Ended up in prison. Ended up homeless on various times, losing various jobs because of the drink. The drink was taking control, and I just hit rock bottom and decided to change my life around.
How old were you when you decided to? Enough was enough.
2013. I think I was at the age of 48. I'm now 52. I just hit rock bottom. I'd really had enough. Sick and tired of being sick and tired. Same old thing. And I got myself into a treatment centre in Lower Broughton, in Salford. There, it's called the Thomas Project, and I engaged with them.
Is that where you got introduced to Ants as well? Were they in the Ants building?
So when I was on second stage, which is you get a bit more time, with yourself and just to start being able to manage your life a bit better, and so we had to integrate. We still had to engage with the program, and just to keep me occupied, because that was the main thing, keeping that occupied and not sitting in self. We went down to Ants Junction, and we had a furniture restoration project down there. Now I tended to go more towards what Ants had to offer, and I found myself doing some voluntary work down there where I was doing harms reduction. I was packing needles, of all things, and it kept me, it got me into a work ethic. It got me back into that work routine, because I'd lost me drive, I'd lost my purpose, I'd lost self-belief. I just felt worthless. Not worked since 2010. So I had to build myself up slowly. And they were taught not to rush, take things one step at a time. And then, so I was doing this voluntary work. I was doing it three days a week, and I got into a routine, getting up and going down. I even went down there from Lower Broughton on a cycle, on a push bike. But then things sort of it came to an end. What the work I was doing came to an end. Lost the contract, and I felt, within a week, I felt my head starting to wobble. I thought it was going to.
Is that because you'd lost that routine?
I'd lost the routine. Yeah, I didn't have anything to occupy my mind. So I went to see Daisy, one of the head people down at Ants, and I said, "Look, Daisy, I need some. You need to sort something out for me, please. I feel my head's gonna go, blah blah blah." And she said, "Right, now just leave it with me, and I'll get back to you." Anyway, she got back to me. How would you fancy doing a work placement at Tier 1 in Whitefield? So I said, "Daisy, I'll do anything. I've got willingness, willingness to change. I'll do that, not a problem." So I came down, and then I seen Sam and Kay. They were very warm towards me, and very encouraging and very supporting. I've got the utmost gratitude for Tier 1 and Thomas Project, and also Ants. And then Kay said, "Look, we'll see. We'll get to a point where we'll offer you some, we'll offer you some work, 3 days." And he gave me 3 days.
And it was voluntary, wasn't it?
But yeah, I was doing, like I said, I was doing voluntary at first, and then he gave me 3 days, which I thought at the time was good. You know, I didn't want to overstretch myself. You know, put pressure on this. You know, because I haven't worked since 2010. So I thought 3 days. I can do that. I can do that. Not a problem. And then, you know, it got to the end of the year, and I was quite happy with what I was doing. You know, I do a lot of driving and also crushing the hard drives, and it's given me, you know, build my confidence up. You know.
And you're now full time?
I'm full. Yeah, I'm full time. They took me on in November, and I've got my little routine up there. I work very methodically up there with my work, and I get through my work.
Yeah, and you find the work, because the work Nigel does, it's a key part of what we do here at Tier 1. It's destroying hard drives, so we kind of crush hard drives before we then shred. And Nigel, you find it quite therapeutic, it's almost part of your healing process.
I do find it very, very therapeutic. I don't know what's wrong with my brain, but it's just, it helps me, you know. Like I said, I do everything in a methodical manner. You know, everything I have to take the casing off the hard drive to protect the crusher, you know, to preserve the crusher. And then, you know, when I've done that, everything's got to be scanned. I have to scan the serial number, the barcode, and then, you know, just I set it out and I go through a chain, an event, and then it ends up in the back container where the crush containers go. Go.
Okay, so today you'd say you're in a good place today?
I'm very much in a good place. Yeah. I feel worthy. I feel part of, you know. I feel like I'm putting back in the system, rather than taking.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, and I feel like a sense, you know, a belonging.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and I know that over a period of time you've also started to make contacts again with your family.
Very much so, yeah. Again, my addiction, the family went against me. You know, I pushed the fact that I've done some bad things, and now I have a program in my life, a 12-step program. It's the NA program, and it teaches me to look at myself and you know, because us addicts, we're good to blame, very good at blaming, and we don't see the harm that we've done ourselves. And now I've took a step back and I've seen what I've done, what I've inflicted on my family, and so yeah, I've got one of my sisters back. I've got a brother back. The other two is going to be a bit more hard work, but again, it's got to be patience. It's you know, I've done some bad things, and again, us addicts, we want things like that, and it doesn't happen like that. You know, I've got to take time again.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. So, and I know you've also had Dean as one of your mentors from Atos.
Yeah, Dean was there, and he gave me encouragement. You know, he was there if I needed to, if I wanted to better myself. You know, and maybe if there was things I found difficult to talk to yourself with, you know, he'd act as a safety net. You know,
bit of a buffer as well.
Bit of buffer, yeah. But yeah, he did encourage me. I do remember a couple of occasions where he said, "Nigel, you don't have to stop where you're at. You know, the world's your oyster. If you want to, you know, better yourself." And he was there for that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay. Thanks for your honesty. And thanks for your efforts. And I think it's a great example of when you've got, you know, people like Ants and businesses like Tier 1 and Atos working together, it can make a difference. But ultimately,
very much so.
Ultimately, Nigel, I'd say you've done it.
Thank you. Like I say, I've got the utmost gratitude to Tier 1 and for the help, you know, and for the support and the belief. You give me belief. That's, you know, I believe in myself again now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wanna thank Tier 1 for that. Yeah.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well done.
Cheers.
Thank you.